I'm sure my neighbors sit there and wonder, you know, why I sit out here holding a black sock in the air. So the COVID pandemic has been very, very personal to me. My colleagues and I, and particularly my nursing colleagues, have been right up in it from the get-go. So it's been a very high-stress time taking care of patients with COVID. You know, it is admittedly a little odd. I'm what's called a hospitalist, so I take care of adults who are too sick to go home from the emergency department. When you think about the beauty of what nature has in store, that all this is molecules of water crystallizing at 107.9 degree angles. I'm an assistant professor of medicine at the University of Colorado Hospital. You know, one of the things that we talk about in the medical profession is resilience. And resilience is really hard to maintain when you think about, you know, for 2 years everyone's holding their breath waiting for something to end. And the thing is, you got to breathe. You got to find a way to take a breath and enjoy life. I have to catch the flakes right before they fall because you can't pick them up once they hit the ground. So notice I'm not holding the sock like this, I'm holding it like vertically, because the snowflakes that are fun to photograph actually will cling as they fall down the side of the sock. I am an official snowflakeologist. A lot of people ask, you know, is it really true that there are no two snowflakes alike? And that's true. If you look at snowflakes really closely, you'll see that they're almost never symmetric up close. Just the span of one tiny snowflake encounters different microclimates, which change how it crystallizes. So it's remarkable. Some of the snowflakes are just so stunningly beautiful, and to realize that here I am standing on a deck that's covered in trillions of them, it's just crazy. Here I am honing in on just one. Right there, there's a snowflake. Oh man, I wish I could focus up closer, but if I change the angle on it, it gets more or less reflective. Oh, I wish I could get it just right. So the key to good snowflake photos, well, first you have to have good snow, and it has to be really cold, and you have to be outside. The hazard is I could squish one of the models. And I strictly practice catch and release. I freshly source all my snowflakes, but I make sure that they come back to a good home. The other part that's really key in snowflake photos is the lighting. Just a hair's breadth of tilt in my camera can completely change whether you see a beautiful snowflake or you don't.
Oh, it's really pretty too.
You know, what's fun about snowflake photography is it's something you do in the field. So my studio is really complex. It's a table, the sock, a light, and my camera. That's it. But I do welcome all snowflakes of all different shapes and sizes to come visit, and I'm always happy when they do. Some of those centers are incredible. They look like etched glass. So I find a lot of solace, first and foremost, in my family, who are kind of hysterical. They're a great support system. But I also find it in photography.
Oh yeah. Oh, this one's got color in it.
It sounds crazy that, you know, snowflakes of all things could be very therapeutic, but it's an opportunity to bond with my creator and also to see the world in a way that few people take the time to notice. So snowflakes can do, oh my goodness, yes. Yep, it's got some broken arms, but it can be salvaged. But I'll show you this. This is pretty crazy. So you wouldn't think that snow has color to it. You just think it's viewed as white. But it turns out that as the snowflake forms, it can create a layer that is two different densities in the center. And that acts a lot like gasoline on water and will refract those colors. These are leftover bits of dust in the atmosphere. But it's very, very difficult to explain how much beauty is on each of these snowflakes. So this is a classic dendritic snowflake. A rainbow coloring appearing in the middle of a snowflake. And this is very rare. You have to have very specific conditions for this to sort of set up. We were lucky today. We caught a snowflake that had that. And I get to share that with somebody else. So if I can be of service to somebody else, that takes me out of myself. And I think these snowflakes add to this wonderment, you know, of nature and possibility and beauty. So like a lot of things in life, you could look at this as, oh my gosh, this is the worst traffic that we've encountered, or you could look at it like every single one of those flakes that's falling right now has a story to tell, and they're pretty magnificent.